have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show. I'm your man behind the mic, as always, Scholar Jeff. To my left is Scholar Tarek.
Hello everyone in the wrestling world.
And to my other left is Scholar Brian. What's up, sir?
Congratulations, Scholar Jeff, on actually remembering the intro this
there
week.
You go.
Hey, last week was a fluke, I assure you.
Hey, I'm just happy we're back on track.
Please,
a
you
fluke
mess
that
up
will never
one little
happen.
thing, and all
And
of
we
a
will
sudden
never
you're
let
a
it go.
pariah.
We will never let it go.
Until next week.
Until next week when you do it again.
That's the spirit. But anyway...
You have such confidence in you.
Yeah, I know. It's really touching. It's really touching. But in the meantime, yeah, it's already Tuesday of the day we're recording this, and already we're loaded up with a wealth of things that have happened this week in the wrestling world. So, you know what? I think we should just get right into it. Let's go right into the quantifiable heap of news that is, well, backstage news.
Indeed. Let us go. Start the show as we always do by peeking behind the curtains and checking in on a little
backstage news.
Nah.
So is that
The
mad
audience
thing is now the end now?
Can we not? I think you just...
Do I ever listen to your suggestions? No, it's
yes,
gonna be a
do,
thing now.
because you care.
It's gonna be a thing
care.
now, but Jeff's gotta kill it every time with the map. But yes, the map will be a thing.
Okay, thank you for making our entire listener base deaf.
Well, they should expect it from me by now.
Don't
give me that. Don't give me that. You know, I do it every week. They should expect it by now.
It's really a relatively new thing.
I'm pretty sure that there's a
I
said in there somewhere.
I break the sound barrier. I break the sound barrier at least once every week.
Speaking of breaking the sound barrier, they released Zara Schreiber this week.
Well, when
AKA the tattooed up woman who was sending Seth Rollins nudes.
Well, when you put Nazi imagery on your on your Instagram and you think everything will be okay.
I'll tell you what, I actually looked into this. It's not even just Nazi imagery alone. It was just she was just posting some really racist, awful stuff. It's wow.
Yeah, this. We should have expected this. We should have expected this, really, after the nude pics and all that. Well, we should have expected that.
Well, to be
something
fair,
else has got to happen.
Well, to be fair, not every woman who has ever sent a nude pic to a guy is a horrifying racist. Or unless some of your prior lady friends.
Brian, have you had some kind of history with this?
No comment.
We'll take your word for it. We'll take your word for it. Okay.
But let's. Well, if you thought Hulk Hogan was bad,
hey,
what we saw on that Instagram, okay, wow,
that was pretty bad. At least Hulk Hogan went on Good Morning America to apologize for what he did.
Well, I don't know if it was an apology. It was more like, I am not a racist. Okay, we'll take your word for it.
Because really, okay, we don't want to talk about Hulk Hogan again, but come on.
Compared to
the one time,
compared to what was on Schreiber's Instagram, what Hulk Hogan said really wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't. Yeah.
Not that there's an excuse for that.
Not that there's an excuse, but compared to what I just saw on Instagram, that's tame by comparison.
I was not a fan of this woman. There's nothing now that could ever make me a fan of this woman. I will still always be a Hulkamaniac. And yeah, she's gone before she even really started.
And
you know what?
Probably for the best.
I was just about to say that. It is for the best. WWE dodged a major bullet on this one.
Oh, yes.
And Seth Rollins should really, dodge that bullet too.
Seth Rollins should be ashamed of himself at this point.
Hey, if he's not ashamed of himself after certain other things he's done in the recent past, then let's face it, the guy needs to make some better choices in his romantic life.
Yes.
I mean, let's face it.
In his professional life, he's pretty much set. But
yeah, I mean, come on. You're Seth Rollins. I've got to imagine that Captain CrossFit over here has got to have some doors open to him. I mean, come on. You can do better, man.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
Walter.
Thank you.
You're not wrong.
Thank you.
Am I wrong?
Anyway, speaking of people who are wrong, let's talk about Jimmy Snuka for a minute here.
All kinds of wrong.
Jimmy
Oh.
boy, why'd you have to go and get yourself arrested for third-degree murder?
Makes me want to toss out his book.
Why would you write about it?
Yeah, just
in your book.
For the people who don't know yet, we're recording this the day this went live.
Like, legitimately, like, not even 12 hours ago.
Yeah,
the
apparently
news came out.
The investigation into the murder of Jimmy Snuka's former girlfriend has yielded a decent amount of evidence suggesting that Jimmy Superfly Snuka is actually responsible for it. Oh, and he just got arrested today as of this recording, which is Tuesday the 1st.
Because, let's face it, okay, when you write about it in an autobiography, and there are discrepancies with the report that was filed when the girlfriend passed away, they're going to look into it, and if there's anything that can implicate you, yeah, apparently there was.
Oh boy, this is...
And this is coming off the news of like a month and a half ago, him being diagnosed with stomach cancer.
Oh jeez.
So Jimmy Snuka is not having a good time.
No, I can't imagine he was.
If that's the case, then when he passes, I don't think we're gonna get a nice little video package from WWE.
Because now
sad.
there's talk. There's talk that Vince McMahon could be implicated in a cover-up.
Oh
jeez.
That was like I got that news a couple hours ago, and I'm like, wow. You know, Hulk Hogan looks like a saint by comparison right now, compared to these two.
Let's try and look at the bright side for a second here. Do we think that, in light of all this, even if Vince McMahon is implicated in something horrible, do you think that he will sort of forgive Hulk Hogan by comparison, or still nothing?
Eventually.
They're not going to do it right away because there's still all the backlash.
It's still fresh.
But
it's still fresh in people's minds. Eventually, like we said on this show before, Hulk Hogan will he'll do some kind of community service to help rebuild his name, show people he's not a racist, have black people supporting him, is what he's doing now. Eventually, he will get the green light to come back in WWE and basically fix his name there as well.
Because if Vince McMahon doesn't blacklist Jimmy Snuka like immediately, that's it. I hope this doesn't have any fallback on Tamina. Seriously, I hope it doesn't.
You know what? I didn't even think of that.
But Jimmy, like,
I mean, yes, Tamina's in a bad position now.
Tamina's in a bad position as it is now with this coming out.
I mean, Tamina wasn't really in that bad of a position.
I mean, just being booking wise,
she is being paired with Sasha Banks.
And the one who
and they're always losing.
When was the last time Tamina Snuka actually had a successful win?
I need you to understand.
Not before.
Something, okay? Being teamed with Sasha Banks, okay, they're the ones losing all the time.
They collectively, maybe, but not Sasha.
I understand this, but you can't just say that Tamina's not being booked well because she's teamed up with Sasha Banks.
I'm not saying she's booked well. I'm saying she's booked better than she was.
I don't even know if that's true.
Hell, I can even
because considering she wasn't doing anything at all except.
She was hurt.
Her being booked as AJ's bodyguard was actually better booking than her teaming up with Naomi, and then becoming a member of Team Bad. Hell, I even think Team Bad isn't that really spectacular minus Sasha Banks.
Well, true. Then again, this is also... We're digressing here. This is a whole other conversation.
Here's the problem. Okay. Jimmy Snuka, blacklisted right away. Blacklisted all of his crap off of the WWE. Probably loses Hall of Fame spot.
If it happened for Hogan, then I would not be shocked.
Definitely. Okay, but what are the implications on other people? That's the big thing right now. Sucks for Snuka, but if you did it, you did it. That's it.
Yeah, we're probably gonna... Stuff is gonna break all throughout the week.
If you did it, you did it. Okay, this is murder, not cool.
Yeah, I'm sure we're all going to be discussing it this week, both on this show, on Twitter, and also on the Scholars Wrestling Facebook page as things develop.
But there are further implications on Vince McMahon and on the further career and success of Tamina. And not this is not a good situation for anybody. Really,
definitely not.
Because this, Jimmy.
I was actually looking up a little more information on him. Apparently, he's living in Clifton, New Jersey.
That I knew.
Well, New Jersey cops are normally on top of stuff like that.
You know, this is true. This is true. That and he's 72. I mean, oh, jeez.
Yeah, so it's like if they put him in prison.
I mean, is it even worth it at that point?
Well, you do it because he killed her.
Yeah.
If it comes out that he killed her,
he just will.
Okay.
He just will pass behind bars.
He's 72 years old. He's diagnosed with stomach cancer. Okay. He just got arrested for a murder that potentially happened 32 years ago.
This is so sad.
So it sucks for Jimmy Snuka, but if you did it, you did it, and you gotta face the consequences of your actions.
Well, again, this is still a work in progress, so hopefully justice will be served, and it won't be the worst ending possible for the Superfly. But again, we're going to be talking about it all week. I know we will. Keep watch on the Scars Wrestling Facebook page for any new developments, I guess. In the meantime, yet another horrible incident happened in the world of wrestling and WWE. I'll be honest. When I first heard the news break that there was a shooting at the WWE Performance Center and that it was shooting a 29-year-old male who was obsessed with a yet unnamed WWE diva, I just wanted to throw up my hands and say, it's not me. I never met Sasha. I had nothing to do with this. Please don't hurt me.
I was honestly expecting you to go some kind of Eva Marie rant, but you know what?
That's with Eva Marie.
No, I'm not saying you were. It's not about you being obsessed. I just thought you were going to make the assumption that it had something to do with Eva Marie.
Eva Marie did
it
not
wouldn't
get
even
shot
surprise me
yet.
It wouldn't even surprise me because the wrestling capability is not there, but she is good looking, for me at least. But so I would not be surprised if she was the diva that someone was obsessed with.
Eva Marie is attractive in the same way that a quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's is tasty.
Wow.
In the most mass-produced, over-the-top, this is what we think you should like type of way.
It's true. I can't
Am I
deny
wrong?
it.
Yeah?
I can't deny it. But this
Sasha Banks, meanwhile, is a handmade 50% beef, 50% lamb, quality made, hand picked.
Back to the Performance Center, please.
I'm sorry, I'm hungry.
For
Sasha Banks, apparently. Okay, moving on.
I'm hungry for Becky Lynch. You don't hear me going on about beef patties. But okay, back to the Performance Center. Okay, this is
she
there
would
any
be bangers and mash. But I'm sorry, I'm very hungry.
Let's get back to it.
Someone was shot outside the Performance Center.
Somehow we started talking about
and it was a stalker. So good for him.
Good for him. He's the one who got shot.
Good for him. You stalk a diva, you take your chances.
But did you hear who it was?
No. I was actually just about to ask that.
He was obsessed with Lita and since she apparently was around the Performance Center for Tough Enough tapings, and apparently this is not the guy's first visit before, and he actually had a restraining order put against him,
which is probably why he was shot.
Yeah, he apparently pulled a knife.
Oh yeah,
and tried to get into the building, and then the police officer on the scene was like, he was getting lunged at, and then pop.
Oh, yeah, you lunge at a cop, you get what you get. That's it.
This is just
lunge at a cop, you're gonna get popped.
This is just a sick world we're living in.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I love me some Sasha, but not that much.
Oh my God,
Stalkers?
Really really back to Sasha?
Stalkers.
I'm talking about relational, fan.
This is my opinion.
Fan boundaries.
This is my opinion. Okay, stalkers deserve what they get. Okay, sometimes it stops at restraining orders. You get a restraining order, and the stalker stops. All is well and good in the kingdom. Okay, but once you break the restraining order and you try again, you deserve whatever you get.
What's worse is you try to physically harm the person you're stalking.
Exactly.
So,
once the knife came out, shoot him in the head. That's it. I don't
shoot him in the head.
Shoot him. It's one that indicates just having the knife on him. Okay, if he got in that building, what would have happened? What could have possibly happened?
Right.
Okay, so he got shot. That's why I said good for the cop for shooting for shooting the suspect. And hey, stalker, you deserved every second of it.
Yeah, out of a lot of the things we've been talking about on this show in recent memory, as far as news moments, this is one of those things where I think we're all in agreement that the punishment did actually fit the crime this time. At least closer to anything else we've talked about in recent
years. Yeah, you pull a knife, you
try and attack a cop. I mean, come on.
You pull a knife on a cop, you're gonna get shot. Deal with it.
It's a shame. Speaking of people getting knives pulled on them, apparently someone tried to kill Dean Ambrose.
Last week on the SmackDown taping, right after the show ended, Dean Ambrose was heading up the ramp. I actually saw the video. And you see a fan leap over the railing and try and attack Dean Ambrose. At least that's what it looks like in the video. The security guy just slams him down, and it was perfectly timed because he was just about to hit Dean Ambrose. And fans are speculating. Well, fans there are claiming that the man had a sharp object.
Claiming nothing.
Nothing could not. As far as I know, nothing has been confirmed. But just there have been fans at the show claiming that the guy had a sharp object in his hand.
Here's my question. Okay, if you're gonna attack anybody, okay,
why attack Dean Ambrose?
Why attack the craziest guy on the roster? Have you seen him in CZW?
Yeah, and why would you attack a face?
He takes cheese graters to the face.
It's not even that. Why would you want, there is plenty of videos on the internet of fans running into wrestling rings in different companies, and what do? They get completely destroyed by the security guards. What makes this man think that pulling a weapon, nothing, just going to attack Dean Ambrose? What, did you really think you were actually going to hit Dean Ambrose?
Well, then again, we're also talking about the crazy sort of person who would do this kind of thing. I don't think rational thought is really in the.
I can almost.
That's one thing that's losing in society is rational
I can almost
thought.
guarantee the dude was drunk and out of his damn mind.
You know what? I wouldn't be shocked.
But you know what? In all the stupidity, okay, you're facing off against the security guard and Dean Ambrose, the craziest guy in the company, who will beat the shit out of you. So it's this guy, mental home, please.
Now this is actually one of those rare moments when I actually want to find out what this guy's deal is. If it was just really drunk, or if he's just.
As far as I know, there's nothing official released about who the guy is and what was his motive on this. But all we know, I saw the video. It was actually pretty scary. Just seeing him leap over, just charging at Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose had no idea he was coming, and then the security guard just runs in and just slams him down. And he was right next to Dean Ambrose. Right now, Jeff, you're Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I'm the Titty Master.
Brian, you're the guy who was charging. You were literally this. It was this close. How you guys are, and then the security guard.
For those who can't see it, it's about.
We are pretty much right next to each other.
6 inches.
It was that close, and then the security guard just threw his arm in between them, and just slammed him to the ground. And then you just see Dean Ambrose turn around. And he's like, "Oh well."
Props to the security guard for being on top of your game.
And on top of him.
Indeed.
That's what she said.
She's a whore.
Okay.
Let's add some levity to the...
It's like, hey, Dean...
I would love to.
The positive, Dean Ambrose is okay.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Also the positive, the crazy dude is not.
Speaking of crazy dudes, there is one more little teensy-weensy little story having to do with crazy people. And thankfully, it's someone from TNA this time.
Oh.
I think I know what this is.
Yeah, apparently some guy named Bram from TNA is apparently just got arrested for domestic violence against, what I'm assuming is his wife.
And TNA indefinitely suspended him. They didn't fire him. They indefinitely suspended him.
And there's one little caveat to this whole thing.
He was an original member of the Ascension?
Not even that. His wife is actually Charlotte.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just found this out today.
Wow.
So if we're putting 2 and 2 together here and we're reading into this, I think we're reading into this.
On Monday, did she look weird at all?
No, I was
with like any.
You know what? But then again, I also wasn't paying attention to that. There was the beat the clock challenge thing, which was going on, which I thought was pretty rad.
I don't like beat the clock challenges.
They're good in moderation.
We'll go into that discussion when we actually talk about Raw.
But Bram beating up Charlotte.
If that's what actually happened.
If that's what actually happened.
What?
Why?
I know.
Why would you try to beat up that?
You know what? Again, rational in what experience I do have looking at cases like this, it's always in. You hardly ever see it coming, and there's again, like we were talking about before, we're also not talking about necessarily a well-balanced person here.
Just look at what he did in the. They had a no-holds-barred match, Mr. Anderson versus Bram, earlier in the month, and he took a Green Bay plunge off the top rope through a table.
Ouch!
Just like this, like he made Ken Anderson look like complete badass, and that's hard to do. So.
I still had hope in Mr. Anderson Kennedy.
Yeah, Bully Ray was the first one to pull it off.
Anderdy.
And making Mr. Anderson look hardcore. That's what I meant by badass. Making him look hardcore. Okay, and like that was the best match I had seen out of either of the men in some time. So to hear this, I'm disappointed because I liked Bram. I liked Bram because of what he brought to the TNA product. Like, you had that batshit crazy guy who was willing to do anything. Like David, I don't. But now hearing this, I just think scumbag. If he actually went after, that's the one thing that I do not approve of in the least. You do not abuse your wife or girlfriend. You don't, or your kid.
Not at all.
Yeah,
and so hearing that it's a possibility that he did that, Sorry, Bram. Not a fan anymore.
Yeah, especially since, come on, she's probably the lead breadwinner in your household right now.
If it's who we're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. If we're talking Charlotte, I mean, she must be doing pretty well for herself.
What are you doing,
But you know
what? What are you doing?
You know what? What if he's one of those sorts that's like really intimidated by, oh, my wife is making more money than me, herpa-derpa-derp. What if that was the excuse?
No excuse. There's no excuse.
Never said it was going to be a good one.
There's no excuse, but I've heard it. I've heard of it many
Which is
times.
what made me think.
So it could be that, but the thing is, he's indefinitely suspended from TNA. If they do bring him back, Push is gone.
Oh yeah,
that's it. He's gonna be jobber to the stars. Now at this point, they might as well have fired him. Seriously, you're not gonna get the stench of that off of you.
Such a shame.
I think the stench has gotten worse. The fact that they are keeping him with the company with just a suspension.
Yeah, the stench has grown to TNA now because they kept it.
Well, on the bright side, this is the last of the really sad news that I have for this week.
Levity? Can we get some levity, please?
Oh, I will drop a levity bomb on you. Let's talk about Bayley for a while.
I could do that.
Okay.
Well, apparently, and according to an email acquired by Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer, from a person who either used to work with WWE or is currently working with WWE, again, kept quiet for, sources and all that. This person seemed to claim that if Bayley is marketed the right way, that they're positioning Bayley to be quote-unquote bigger than Cena in terms of moving merch, in terms of doing Make-A-Wishes, just selling shirts after slap bracelets and hairbands to little girls. This person, according to Brian Alvarez, thinks that she could be an absolute megastar in the making, currently.
Let me put it this way, okay? If Bayley is the John Cena of the women's division, I will be perfectly fine with that. You want to know why? Because Bayley's got talent.
I don't know. I like Cena. It's just that everything he's got is being used horribly.
I'm okay with Cena, but I'm done. I'm done. It's like you've been on top for 10 years now. Since 2005, you have been on top. I'm done.
So what you're really saying is you want Bayley on top?
I want Bayley on top. That is what she said.
Good night.
But basically, okay. Once
she wants Bayley on top. Wait,
he wants Bayley on top.
No, that's what she said. You said that you want Bayley on top, and then you said that's what she said. So she wants Bayley on top.
I'm sure that she.
Hello, good night.
I'm sure that she wanted.
I just caught that. I'm just like, wait a minute.
But
yeah,
you know what?
She seems like a very lovely person. She's a good role model for little girls.
Yes, exactly, and that's why the John Cena. That's why the John Cena thing works. Okay, she gives out hugs for everyone. That's her character.
Hugs and slap bracelets for everybody.
Hugs and slap bracelets for everybody. It fits with the Make-A-Wish because her gimmick is making everyone happy, making everyone in the arena happy. And you know what? She's a great female wrestler. Okay, which is something the WWE sorely needs. Okay, once she comes up and you have the 4 horsemen of NXT,
4 horsewomen,
4 horsewomen of NXT in the WWE, there's no limit to what the women's division can do. First, you need to get the belt off of Nikki Bella, and then Bayley's awesome. Do it. What you just said about the email about Bayley being the
female John Cena,
I am fine with that. Go for it. Because maybe, just maybe, if she starts selling more merch and doing more Make-A-Wishes than John Cena, we can move on from the John Cena train.
You really think, as much as I love Bayley, do you really think she'll actually be close to John Cena's 500?
Not even a little bit. But that's it.
If billed right, then maybe she will.
Hell, he's still doing the Make-A-Wish Foundations. Just because he hits 500 doesn't mean he's going to stop. I wouldn't be surprised if he hit 1,000.
You know what?
Even
At this point, I feel like they're going to be tag teaming John Cena and Bayley on these Make-A-Wish things. Like, John Cena and Bayley will show up to do Make-A-Wishes at the same time.
Yeah, I just hope that she's actually legitimately a nice person.
I'm almost certain. Okay, you can't. I don't think you can fake what she's been selling.
I really hope not. This is probably the jaded wrestling smark in me that's probably thinking this right now.
Been cut up too many times.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened with Hulkamania and that kind of thing. I mean, granted, I know that Wikipedia can only tell you so much, but I'm not seeing anything but sincere stuff right here. It doesn't really talk about her
She hasn't
personal
had
countenance or anything like that.
She hasn't had problems out of the ring, personal problems that I'm aware of. Okay, and if I don't think you can play that gimmick so well like she does if there's not a hint of truth to it. If that's not the way that she truly is. So if that's the case, go for it.
I certainly hope so. Just for the sake of newness and just
all I
being
gotta
a good
say,
role model. Just keep it going, Bayley.
Yeah, and all I gotta say, if you have the other three up, get her up real soon.
Mm-hmm.
Real soon. By WrestleMania if you can. Maybe have a Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. Boom. Set.
Oh, that would be groovy.
Game, set, match. That's it.
That would be so groovy. Speaking of groovy, I'm not sure how much you guys have been watching what Xavier Woods has been up to on YouTube lately.
I have not.
You haven't seen any of his up, down, down stuff?
No, I have not.
He's basically playing video games with all of his wrestler friends.
Oh yeah, I know you talked.
amazing.
I know you talked to us about this. Like, he's had Street Fighter fights with Rusev and all that.
Oh yes, he has.
What is anything? Has there been a new video?
There's been several new videos. There's
one in particular that you wish to talk about?
Not really. Well, again, we'll talk about that after the show. If you're not subscribed to him on YouTube, check out all his stuff. If you're a wrestling fan, if you're a video game fan, it hits all switches. It's great. What I really wanted to bring up is he is nominated for a Golden Joystick Award right now. Which
Always
is like
good news.
Gaming Personality of the Year or something like that.
Huh. He's probably up with PewDiePie, right?
He actually...
Yeah, there's no way he's winning, but that's
it's basically him and PewDiePie were the two names I actually recognized off that list. Everyone's just like, bagoo.
Yeah.
You know what?
If
You got nominated.
If PewDiePie is on that list, you have no chance of winning. But hey, you got nominated.
You got nominated.
So
That's
there
all
you
that
go.
matters.
Good.
Congratulations.
For you. Congratulations.
I hope all these wrestling fans come out of the woodwork and totally crush PewDiePie.
You do realize that PewDiePie has like 15 million subscribers.
You do
right?
realize I don't care, right?
Yeah, I hope that it happens too, but I'm it's a little hope in the back of my mind because it's like the hope that
Living in fantasy booking.
Yeah, it's like the hope that John Cena wouldn't beat Bray Wyatt.
You shut your filthy mouth. You shut it.
It was like that. That's what I'm going through right now with this. If PewDiePie is on that list, you're pretty much
Done.
fucked. Yeah.
That's so sad. Anyway, I think we can all take away from this a few things. Xavier Woods, in such a short amount of time, he's done so much. He's producing original content. It's actually interesting.
Xavier Woods, okay, first of all, he's the one who made the New Day as interesting as it is now. Remember when we were talking crap about it when they were faces, and then they turned heel and Xavier Woods came out of the woodwork and started going absolutely
trust me.
fuck nuts outside the ring?
Trust me.
At all times. That is what has brought the New Day so far. And if he brings... I haven't watched his YouTube content, okay? I will be completely honest. But if he brings that same ethic and enthusiasm and the same kind of machismo that he brings to his role as what he does in the actual WWE, then it's got to be amazing stuff.
Two things. Number one, as someone who has actually subscribed to him and is actually watching his videos, yes, he does.
Okay.
All right.
However, special mention does need to go to Big E. Because right now that is actually doing his thing. Now that actually getting more mic time is actually able to show off more of his personality. The dude's hilarious.
I still think the best thing about their title win at SummerSlam was the shimmy that Big E was doing at the end.
Big E can move
when he was just rotating his hips around.
I'll do it even better. He just recently posted a video on Vine. Okay?
Oh God!
All it is just him riding around in a Segway with Sasha Banks, with the two of them just yelling "booty."
I've loved Big E's.
Booty.
I love Big E's Vine videos for a long time. I still remember when he was Intercontinental Champion. All of his Vines when he was Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I'm just happy that they're finally showcasing that personality. Okay?
I actually do think they all three members, Kofi, Big E, Xavier Woods, they definitely knew what they were doing as soon as they really got their feet on the ground with the New Day gimmick. I think I was the most vocal about it of all three of us.
Yeah, you did not like them at all.
I hated the New Day when they first came, when they actually were being pushed as a legit tag team.
Well, because of the fact that they were billed as something that they just weren't. They were billed as a new nation of domination. Instead, they came out with this happiness thing.
It's just like... It was the equivalent.
I'm sorry, what were they doing? Yes, Brian, that's exactly what they were doing.
It was the equivalent of Brodus Clay video packaging being pushed as a monster. And what do you get?
We got the Funkasaurus.
Much to this fool's delight.
Oh, come on.
And
That
my
was great.
my
I'm sorry.
disdain.
We were laughing our ass off when that night just happened. Everyone else had this horrified look on their face, and we were just like, they fucked with you again.
My immediate response, oh my god, Brodus Clay is going to go nowhere.
And guess what? He went nowhere.
He went nowhere. His biggest
was super
thing
over for a while.
His biggest thing was bunch of dancing mamas at WrestleMania.
He called his mama.
That was his biggest moment.
People were more interested in Naomi and Cameron than they were Brodus Clay. At least in the crowd.
Hell,
and that's not good when people are more
interested
in Cameron than you.
Well, to be fair, dead ass.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
for Naomi at least.
For Naomi, say what you will about her now.
She got a booty.
Sandra, seamstress, whoever's working the wardrobe. I mean, damn. I mean, the woman's got assets.
But definitely the New Day is...
The New Day took something and actually rolled with it. Like, I never really believed the Brodus Clay Funkasaurus. I love the theme song.
Oh, yeah.
Granted...
As soon as honestly, that's the biggest reason why I was so jazzed when I saw his debut. Because when Ernest Miller was around, and he came out with that music, like, this is the greatest music. I love this music.
If he actually came out with Ernest Miller at one point, I would have lost it. Hell, if he even came out with God, if anyone can get that reference, I applaud you.
It's Scholars of Wrestling, of course they know it.
I still applaud you, because that is very obscure.
It's not that obscure, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'd ask one of the newer fans. Yeah, like ask Stephanie.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
basically,
well, then again,
okay.
she's new.
Yeah, exactly. Ask the new people.
What does she know
Xavier
about
Woods.
life?
Xavier Woods is the one who got the ball rolling on the.
Talk. He was the real talker. Yes.
He's the real talker, and he's the one who the crowd just hates so much.
Unless you're in Brooklyn.
Unless you're in Brooklyn, because they were cheering the shit out of him.
It's Xavier Woods and the New Day after hitting their stride with a trombone.
But basically,
what's not to like?
Yeah, Xavier Woods and a trombone. Who would have thought of that when they first started?
In the city that you really have to earn the respect of the fans. Divas Revolution.
Xavier Woods with a trombone in Brooklyn. They've earned it. Okay,
Yeah.
That's it.
When you get approved by the New York crowd, you know you're over when it comes to the wrestling fans.
You make it there, you make it anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It's truth. You make it on the East Coast,
It's damn true.
you're part of the Beast Coast.
Oh god.
Sit down, fool.
I am sitting down.
Lie down before you hurt yourself.
Hold on.
We need to switch spaces.
I'll sit down again. Okay. All right.
Thank.
All right.
Never do that
All
again.
right. I'm done. What?
Brock-
East Coast?
Beast Coast.
Oh, come on. I'm not the originator of that.
Granted, we are all fans of Brock Lesnar, but just stop.
Oh, you never heard that term, really?
I'm actually glad I never heard that
Well,
term.
spoilers for life, I guess.
I'm probably never going to hear about it
Spoilers for
again.
life. People are stupid.
Dude, that really is a spoiler for life.
Dum-dums. Every last one of us.
There's just
I like
different
lollipops.
levels of stupid.
Anyway,
Doink the
moving
Clown.
on. Anyway, Doink the Clown. What? Man, this show's gotten off the rails.
Anyway, Doink the Clown.
Anyway, Doink the Clown.
I just had to throw it in there just to see how you guys would react to that.
Okay, you want to know? You want me to throw out something there? G1 Climax.
Explosions!
The G1 Climax in New Japan may have officially ended, but you know what?
The afterglow is still here.
Yes, and it is, and it's in Stardom of all places. I've referenced this on the show before. The All Women's Wrestling League
Yes.
in Japan. Thank you very much.
See,
Well, apparently Stardom is doing their own version of the G1 Climax.
And it's females wrestling each other.
It's called the 5-Star Grand Prix, and
There's no good jokes off of that.
well, hey, it's very comparable to the Climax.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Can't you
have
do
the
something
name.
with that?
Grand Preemptive Climax? I don't know.
No,
I
no,
can't
you
get.
can't.
I can't.
You can't. You can't. It doesn't jump out of your brain like the climax does.
I guess
Yeah.
I guess it only happens when the climax is around.
The climax is gone now.
The climax is gone.
The Climax is over.
We're kind of beating a dead horse now. With
Yeah.
It. So we got to stop.
Yeah.
No more
Yeah,
talking
stop
about the
bringing up the
climax.
climax, Jeff.
No
Yeah.
more climax.
The climax
discussion.
is a lie.
No, the
Until the
Climax
next
has
one.
ended.
Until the next one.
Anyway,
Until
well,
that one
alluded
rises
to.
from the ashes.
Anyway, I was trying to look into this
and
before the show.
explodes to the mess.
Stop it.
Okay, stop it.
Stop
I was
it.
looking at the roster of everyone who's actually in this Stardom Grand Prix. It looks like it works the same way, but everyone, with the exception of maybe 3 names, I have no idea who the rest of these women are.
Are they 2 separate brackets like the Grand Prix, or is it just one bracket?
The same way as the G1 Climax.
Okay.
But again, except for Io Shirai, Kairi Hojo, and I think Chris Wolf, everyone else I have no idea. Akira Sakawa isn't back yet. Yoshiko is gone. What's the other? There's another woman in there who I thought was really awesome. An awesome little girl who used to kick things really hard. She retired. Like, everyone else is just, like, gone.
So it's New Blood.
Yes, New Blood. And let's see, I actually called up, I believe, some GIFs. Yeah, let's see, breaking out.
Come on, Jeff, bring on the GIFs.
Yeah, Yeah, apparently someone wrestling
Damn.
Hojo.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
We're looking what appears to be a front face implant buster into a front lung blower or
I would say code breaker.
Backstabber.
I don't know, but that looks like it hurts.
Oh yeah. Again, I've never
Front buster
seen...
to a code breaker. Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kairi Hojo versus someone named Starfire. I have no idea who that
Teen
is.
Titans.
Yeah, thank you.
I got to do it.
Kaori Yoneyama
Not this Teen
versus
Titans
Mayu
Go bullshit.
Iwatani. I have no idea who that is. Io Shirai versus
Nice,
Chris
moonsault.
Wolf. I'm pretty sure that's... I can't tell if that's Io Shirai or Chris Wolf.
Oof.
But still,
That was beautiful.
again, these ladies can go. Too bad I don't know most of them yet. So
Well, by the end of this, you will know them.
I certainly hope so. Io Shirai is automatically looking like the Nakamura of this whole thing. So hey, who knows what happens? Anyway, that's what's happening in Stardom, and that's what's happening in the world of backstage news. So bringing it full circle, let's bring it back to the United States with some of the major things that happened on this week's Monday Night Raw. Now, earlier we were talking about the Women's Beat the Clock Challenge that Charlotte naturally went on to win.
You had to know when they actually set this up that it was Charlotte's to lose.
It was Charlotte's to lose.
Once Becky Lynch was the first person, you knew that she wasn't going to win.
I still wanted to believe, though.
You wanted to believe.
Yeah,
I wanted to believe, but I wanted to believe. But she won in 3 minutes and 12 seconds. I was like, yeah, okay.
Wasn't it 3:21?
Yeah, I couldn't really tell since
Because-
Kevin Dunn in the production truck totally ruined the graphic.
Did you see that?
Yes,
oh
I
my
did.
god!
I was like, I
it just
hate
kept.
you so much,
It was
Kevin
just
Dunn.
going over Charlotte's face, the clock, and it was just flash, few seconds, flash, few seconds. I'm like, wow, someone's getting fired.
Yeah. Oh man.
The thing I've noticed.
Go back to Full Sail.
The thing I've noticed in these beat the clock challenges is the person in the middle always wins.
Not always.
Always wins.
No, not always. Sometimes it is the last person.
Recently,
yes.
Recently, the person in the middle always wins.
Recently,
So-
yes, but not always.
So as soon as Charlotte was the second match, I was like, all right, here we go. Charlotte wins in about a minute and a half. That's it. So I was like...
And I will say, however, that when we're reaching the final match of this, okay, Paige, whatever. Gee, I wonder who she's going to be, and then Sasha's music.
Paige versus Sasha Banks.
No.
As soon as Sasha Banks' music hit, I was like, Charlotte's got it. They're not going to completely murder Sasha Banks within the first...
Honestly, I was super scared that they would.
Yeah.
They would have Paige... my heart stopped as soon as Paige hit that rampage on Sasha. I was like, oh no, please don't.
As soon as Charlotte won in about a minute and a half, I was like, she's got it.
The second they announced the Beat the Clock Challenge with PCB, I knew Charlotte was going to win.
Charlotte's the one they've been building up. Yeah, Becky got the win at SummerSlam, but Charlotte's
the one that they're going to push.
Charlotte was the one who got the promos. Charlotte's the one getting the build. So it's like, yeah, Charlotte is going to go to Night of Champions, and Charlotte is going to win.
You know what? I certainly hope so.
Was it me, or did that Sasha Banks Paige match seem a little messy?
It kind of was in its own way.
It was, but I have a feeling that it was booked to feel that way. To be that way.
There was one specific spot when they were in the corner where I felt like they just kind of lost track of what they were doing. Granted, the ending actually fit because, Sasha Banks rolls out of the ring. Not even rolls out of the ring, gets pulled out of the ring. Thank you, ref, for looking that straight in the face and not really doing anything about it.
If that could have turned around and acted like you didn't see it.
Here's the thing. Wouldn't it actually been funny if Paige actually won by disqualification and beat the clock? Just because of that?
You know what?
And then you realize
that's never happened before.
And then you realize that the referee screwed up and had to call it. And now what do you do?
And pretty much it's just now it's Charlotte. I wonder if they'll like use that to their advantage. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, look at what they did at SummerSlam. Have you watched the most recent Botchamania video with the SummerSlam
Not yet.
botches?
No.
They do this one bit where they keep pointing out. JBL keeps pointing out that the refs are messing up. Like, two of them really they brought up. Dolph Ziggler puts Rusev in the sleeper hold. Rusev grabs the ropes, and Ziggler pulls Rusev away.
And JBL was mad, man.
And JBL is going like, break the holds, Dolph. Ref, what are you doing? He reached the ropes. Let him go. And then it was the same thing during the Taker Brock Lesnar one. Brock Lesnar puts Taker in... Oh, God, why is the submission hold escaping my mind? Huh?
Hell's Gate?
No.
Kimura?
What?
Kimura lock?
Yeah.
Kimura lock, yeah.
On the ropes, he's giving the hold. And the ref is still not doing anything. And it's still like, ref, what are you doing? He's doing it on the ropes.
At least with that match, they could play it off like the ref was scared of The Undertaker and Brock.
And then getting anywhere near this, but the first one was like...
And then granted, they show a clip of Walter from the Big Lebowski. Am I the only one who pays attention to the fucking rules?
yes, you are.
But yeah, it's just funny that I've noticed this. I'm like, okay, you watched basically outside interference in this match. Wouldn't that be an automatic disqualification? But you know what? Charlotte wins. I'm happy with that.
Charlotte wins. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion in my mind.
It was.
She's going.
It was that booked already in my mind.
That
as soon as they announced it.
Nikki Bella is going to get the longest reigning Divas champion because that's just the way it goes, and we want to piss off everyone humanly possible in order to get Charlotte the massive fan adulation that they hope happens when she beats the crap out of Nikki Bella at Night of Champions. I could see this being like a minute and a half long.
If WWE wants to push Charlotte as the Ronda Rousey of WWE, this has to be done.
It has to be done real quick.
It has to be done quick.
It has to be like Nikki Bella's toe taken and all of a sudden Charlotte just locks it in.
I hope so.
Just locks it in.
Trust me, nothing would make me happier.
There is almost no way that Charlotte doesn't walk out of Night of Champions as the Divas champion.
Giving Nikki Bella the longest title reign period is an insult. It's an insult to me.
It is. It really is, and it was intended to be that way. Let's face it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anywho, I know we did want to talk about this before we end out anything. The Sting promo from last night's Monday Night Raw. Fool, you looked like you had something to say about this.
I loved it. I actually like what they're doing.
Really?
Sting pointing out the fact that he's never won the WWE. He's won pretty much all major titles, except the WWE World Heavyweight title. It makes me actually want him to win even more. Granted, it seems a little odd. How old is Sting now? In his 50s? 57?
I believe so.
57, I believe?
I believe some mid-50s. We'll go with that.
Granted, it's not unheard of. I mean, look what Hulk Hogan did when he was undisputed champion.
The dude can still go.
And he's still, he's in a lot better shape.
56.
He's in a lot better shape than Hogan ever was.
He was, especially when Hogan was undisputed champion. It's not unheard of for him to win the title. Because really, think about it. Sting, the biggest name at once. He was the biggest name in wrestling history to never step foot in the WWE. He steps foot in the WWE. Do you really think he could lose two big matches like this?
No. I was really... Again, you watch WrestleMania with me, right? I was shocked when he even lost the one.
Exactly.
He shouldn't have lost that match. And really, while we're talking about this was really the only part of the promo that really felt flat for me, was because of how much he was kissing with Triple H.
Part really felt flat for me. Here's how this works. Okay, this is what starts the Triple H versus Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah, hands
deal.
Exactly.
It didn't fall flat for me at all because it made so much sense. Because Sting's talking more about the owner of the company or the whatever they're billing him as than the dude he's facing for the World Heavyweight title at Night of Champions, showing him no respect. It gets Seth Rollins pissed off. Now we've got the impetus for Seth Rollins versus Triple H.
The seeds
that actually worked better than anything else for me.
The seeds definitly were planted
from
that one promo.
That was actually what I was going to bring up. Was the part that actually worked for me was the whole Triple H thing, building up the Triple H thing, because they've been talking about building up for a Seth Rollins versus Triple H match at WrestleMania. There you go.
That begins it.
There you go.
You know what? It really does fit with what we've been saying the past couple of weeks about this feud starting relatively soon.
The challengers showing no respect for the champion, showing more respect for Triple H than showing respect for the champion, the dude you're facing at Night of Champions.
Not even just the champion, the guy who's supposed to be the future of Triple H's legacy. And they're showing more respect to Triple H himself, not the guy who's Triple H chose to be his, what's the word? Successor, thank you.
Yeah, it's like, I'm intrigued by the match at Night of Champions, but what I'm actually more intrigued by are the reverberations of the aftershock.
I can see that. I guess really a lot of this is just me sort of being very wary of someone saying nice things about Triple H on a show that he is basically in charge of. You know, truth or not, it just, that the very nature of what it is sort of like makes me sort of wary to.
I believe that the main thing was to build up the storyline.
But really think about,
I believe it.
If the WrestleMania match didn't have DX and the NWO coming out to interfere, if it was just Triple H versus Sting, then that whole bit with Sting giving his respect to Triple H actually would have fit better.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think that's one thing that's why it's bothering you so much, is because of the whole how the match at WrestleMania went. Sting was talking about it as if it was just a one-on-one, not
the
DX being involved and the NWO being involved.
Yeah, the execution behind WrestleMania and just what they were building it up to be versus what it actually turned out to be, that was very poorly done in my opinion. But again, that's neither here nor there. I definitely got the impression that Sting was selling it about as well as you could, and he was doing a pretty good job of it, in my opinion.
Now, it's the $1,000,000 question: do any of us actually see Sting walking out of Night of Champions the champion?
You know what?
I actually don't, because I think John Cena's taken his United States title back, and there's always a shot, there's always a chance that Sting, but I don't think you bury Seth Rollins that hard.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
But if him losing both titles in the span of one night acts as like the precursor to him flipping a shit and going rage mode against Triple H, then I'd be like, awesome, good stuff. But if it's just one of those where he mopes, whatever, and just like I just don't, because there's no way he walks out of Night of Champions the United States champion. There's no way.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what.
But the question is, how are you going to play it afterwards? I want to see Seth Rollins hold on to it for a little longer. Okay, would I like Sting to become champion before he retires? Sure. Okay, but I don't think you give it to Sting in from Seth Rollins.
Yeah, you know what?
Unless Sting wins and then
Ordinarily,
Sheamus cashes in.
Ordinarily, I would be into that, but you know what? I also do not want, above all else, above all possible ways that this entire feud can pan out, the last thing, the thing I would want to see the least is Sting, of all people, having another loss on his record. Having the one at WrestleMania, just the way it was executed again, I thought was bad enough.
I don't like the
It seems
idea
like
that
whatever
a part-timer can come in his second match and win the title.
Well, then again, it's also just not a part-timer. It's also Sting, of all people.
They have the history of WCW to back with Sting. It's not like it's a part-timer who.
But who's he going to lose it
real
to?
History.
Now, that's a good question.
That's the thing. With Seth Rollins, you have more options for who's he going to lose it to. With Sting, what can you possibly do except to cash in right after he wins?
I'll tell you this, though. It seems like in this particular scenario, no matter what you end up picking, there's going to be a drawback to. There's going to be a drawback and both a multitude of possibilities to whatever choice you make with Sting.
Because I'll say this right now, okay? I do not want Sting defending the WWE World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania.
That's not going to happen.
I don't.
No, not after.
So at that point, what's the point of giving him the title now?
To have a decent farewell run with, like a thank you career run, and then whatever he wants to do at WrestleMania. Again, it's just one outcome of many.
Yeah, I just don't think. Why not give it to him at SummerSlam?
Hey, who knows?
Why would you do it now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't know all the facts yet.
Instead of what happened with John Cena. Okay, was it a good match? Yeah. Okay, was it a good idea? Sure. But if you want to give Sting the title, why not have that at your second biggest pay-per-view of the year?
I do not have answers to these questions.
You know what? That's why I'm skeptical of him winning it at, it's Night of Champions, but it's still a minor pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've got a good feeling that whatever happens at Night of Champions is going to definitely set the stage, and I think only until after that we'll start to see how everything might be progressing in the future.
But as of right now, very, very good stuff from Sting. And everybody on Monday Night Raw, everybody involved in the storyline, because you got the beginnings of Seth Rollins being like, "Why is he talking about you? I'm the champion." What is that? Why is he going all in on you? That is the beginning of big things for WrestleMania. Right there.
Bingissimo, baby. Anyway, Fool, before we close out, I believe you've got something for Scholar's Quick Talk.
I have 3 topics for Scholar's Quick Talk tonight.
All right. What you got?
All right. If Charlotte wins the Divas Championship, which I guess we're all thinking she will, she will beat Nikki's title reign as the longest reigning champion.
If they want to build her up like Ronda Rousey, yes.
I'm going to say no, strictly because if they're going to be building up this entire crop of basically the horsewomen and the NXT ladies, then I'm guessing that she won't last that long, and someone else, either Sasha or Becky or somebody, is going to overtake her before she can break the streak.
Unless she tries to... Unless she tries to... She could be the first one in a while to fight men.
Could be.
All right. We just recently got our winners from Tough Enough. I don't remember his name. The guy who's not ZZ.
That should pretty much tell you everything.
All right,
I'll tell you what. This guy looks like the male version of Eva Marie. He looks like somebody's created a wrestler on SmackDown on WWE 2K14 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's built. He looks athletic. He's got a decent look. But in this world of WWE, he looks way too generic and way too bland.
All right. The question is, they actually are planning on keeping Tough Enough, but only as a network program. which I am not...
WWE Network program, you
Yes.
mean, or Network TV? Okay.
WWE Network program. It's not going to come back on USA.
Good.
Which I am
Probably
honestly
smart.
not. I am honestly not surprised. My question is, will we ever see a winner from Tough Enough become WWE World Heavyweight Champion? We've seen people who have not, or at least one particular person who has been on Tough Enough, didn't win it, but still became WWE Champion.
The Miz.
The Miz. Will we ever see a guy who actually won the competition become WWE World Heavyweight
There's
Champion?
always a chance. Okay, but none out of this particular crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's never impossible, but based on who we've been seeing lately, and just even over the years in general, generally speaking, it's not. Chances are not very good.
It's
at all.
very rare that you go into Tough Enough with someone with as much charisma as The Miz, but he had already been working on it because of his role in Real World.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like that is completely rare, and when he won the title, he deserved it. Okay, now not so much. Kind of regressed a little bit, but back then he was the hottest thing going at that point in time. So yeah, if they can get somebody with the charisma and the ability to improve as quickly as The Miz did, sure. Okay, but from what I'm seeing right now, and the way that they did this Tough Enough the first time, I have severe doubts.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, which I usually like to end these with like a little joke one. Will we ever see Seth Rollins' statue ever again?
Yes.
Sure.
We've seen it. We only saw it that one time, which was the return of Sting. We saw it like before the big reveal, which is kind of shocking to me. I was like, have they ever done anything like this before? Show the statue before the big quote quote big reveal? Then you knew something was up.
Yeah.
Something was up.
You knew immediately that someone was popping out.
And then at that point, I actually wanted to make a meme right after that Raw, saying making somewhat of a missing poster for Seth Rollins' statue, missing since Monday Night Raw, and the fact that Seth Rollins spent most of Raw was like, hey, where's my statue? Makes me want to make it even more.
Oh man.
So at that point, I'm just like, I have to make that. I have to throw that into a quick talk.
Well, let me just put it this way: if he keeps going at the rate that he has been, he's definitely bound for a Hall of Fame career.
Oh yeah.
So you know what? Sooner or later, I honestly believe he's got a decent shot at actually finding it again. It could be like a long-running joke by the time his career's over. It's like, hey, I finally found my statue.
Oh jeez, if that actually does happen,
that's how you do payoff.
I will actually applaud them. It would be the same thing as the Raw special, the return of Mae Young's hand.
There you go. That's the spirit.
If they did something like that, I would have just been crying of laughter. Like Seth Rollins would be an older guy who's just kind of like doing a Legends contract, showing up, something similar to like a Ron Simmons Damn. And his final episode where he finally retires, he finds the statue.
I found it.
Oh dear God! Out of all years of searching, I have finally found my statue.
Look at how awesome my abs are.
I'm so happy. Hey, not bad.
But have you seen
Wacky Deli?
Okay, on that happy note. We want to know what you think.
Will we ever see Seth Rollins' statue again, people?
Yes, we want to know. So, of course, you can get into contact with us through all the usual means. Contact us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Like us there. Like this video. Subscribe if you want to hear more. And if you want free entertainment in your face every single week and beyond. Well, we had enough fun for one night. You know who we are. We're the Scholars of Wrestling. And you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
Let's start looking for his
lost statue
again.
Oh yeah, I'll start
Hey,
making
what's
the wanted
that in the
posters.
corner?